have a hockey sign.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to a very special episode of Double D-Fense. It has been quite the ride this year. Hi, Christine. How are you doing?
I'm good. Did you sleep last night? I was a
You
little
know what?
excited.
I was dreaming. I was dreaming of the Rangers. I went to sleep with a big smile on my face.
I did too. I think yesterday was a little emotional, fun, exciting, but I was I was so stressed out for Saturday's game. I was less stressed. I could feel it, and luckily I told somebody too. So I think did I tell you on Saturday? I felt like it was going to be a close game, but um, it I don't know. My heart rate jumped. I think I texted you saying, "I'm good, I'm good, I'm good," as my own welfare check. And then, luckily, I was talking to a friend of mine, and I was like, "I feel better about this game. I think we're going to get breathing room," and it's exactly what we did. So a great way to finish the season. My neighbors, I'm sure, will be excited when hockey season is eventually over. But we did it. We finished our 82nd game with a win and a first place spot, a President's Trophy, home ice advantage, a bunch of cute smiles, and so many. Somewhere there's got to tally up. I think at the end of the season, we should really kind of go over the milestones that we've seen achieved, from all these players.
Well, I do have just a few, and I wanted to
Oh,
say.
yay!
I wanted to say it has been 82 games. We have done 33 episodes, drank 192 beers, traveled hundreds of miles, made tons of new friends, cried 1,258 tears exactly. The Rangers won 55 games, lost 27, went 7 times to a shootout, went 15 times into overtime, and scored 278 goals. So that was it's been quite the year. I can't believe how fast it's flown by. And obviously, with winning the President's Cup, I just want to say for the record that Double D-Fense is taking full responsibility for how successful this year has been. Full credit. We know the Rangers have been listening, especially Miller. So yes, everybody.
You're all welcome. You're welcome. And if you're part of our little family, we'll give you credit too. So
there's credit abounding. So with this news, we are awaiting who the Rangers are going to play in round 1. It is still a toss-up between four different teams at this point, and I find it amazing that at the end of the season, this is just a testament to how tough the East has been, that there are still 4 teams vying for that last potential wild card spot. Christine, I can't hear you. I think you're talking.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
I hit a button. So Matthew was texting me, and he was asking me who I want to play. So who do you want to play? I mean, yeah, it's anybody's game. We'll know tomorrow night. We'll know this time tomorrow. I'll be watching the game to see who wins.
I'll be honest. Out of the 4 teams that are still left, which are the Washington Capitals, the Detroit Red Wings, the Philadelphia Flyers, and who was our last one?
The Penguins.
The Penguins. I have to say, I think all of those teams are beatable. I'm not actually concerned about any of those teams. I think any of them would be a welcome first round in the playoffs for us. And I think it's great that all 4 of them are still in it and hopefully exhausting themselves just trying to make that last spot. So I think it puts the Rangers in a great place.
I want them to be close. So
yeah.
I would take the Caps. I think I would want the Caps. I think we can do it. I think it'd be close, distance-wise for traveling. I mean, I want us to take it easy, but not too easy.
Well, let me ask you this: with Laviolette's history with the Capitals, do you think that there's any kind of advantage that he would have in sort of knowing the ins and outs?
That's a question we've asked in the past on just players and goalies that play on each other and the teams, and that the more well-rounded or the more well-traveled these guys are with teams and stuff, the more knowledge they have and that they use wisely. And I think, as we've seen, Laviolette is smart. I bet you, I have a feeling he uses that in his training and in his moves, and that makes it so successful.
We'll have to check bovadasportsbook.com to see what the odds are on the Rangers winning the Cup right now, and also as it comes up with who they wind up playing in round one, what the odds look like.
I know, it's exciting. Bovada is great. I because at least we're in it for their. I don't know if you saw when we were on ESPN on Saturday. I think they put up the stats, and ESPN stats didn't even have the Rangers making anything, getting anywhere. And it's interesting that we're I don't know, people are starting to change their tune at the last minute with, from Subban to Biz to everybody.
So
Can't hide
let
it.
me ask you about this because it's noticeable. Ben plays NHL 24, the video game, and there's stats in there too. And he was saying the Rangers were completely dismissed this season. They've just finished at the very top. You cannot get a better record than this team has had. Why do you think that so many people were so quick to dismiss the Rangers and are still continuing to dismiss them?
I kind of said it earlier on, although there was inconsistency with them. And when you start off at the playoffs from last year, which is now their starting point, right? So we're not even starting at the season. We're starting at what they failed to do and how inconsistent they were against the Devils last year, right? So that's what's in their mind, I think, for most people, from posts I've seen and everything. Stat wise, yeah, I mean, throughout the season, I was saying that I felt they were just inconsistent when other teams had more consistency. If you're going to lose, there were more reasons. We just didn't even have a reason. It was like you're just to the left a little, right? Or how many times I say that from our bird's eye view where we can see, and they just seemed off. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, we're not the usual team. Look, we are at the top, but no one's getting any awards for the most goals or anything. Everybody else on these other teams are getting credited because they stack their player with time on the ice, and we're well rounded. Again, I'm not going to ever say that enough. How I love the fact that we have a player going for 50 goals and another player, Kreider, who just seemed all cool, calm, collected this whole season. He was getting bashed left and right, about doing more. Yet, like, didn't he break his own record or, I mean, whatever it is, they always come out in the end, breaking these milestone records
all the time.
And Panarin last night, oh my God, he was so cute. Somebody else was like, you totally saw him mouthing the word fuck when he didn't make that goal, right? So he wanted it bad, and it was cute how they wanted to give it, like they wanted him to try to get it too. That's been some of the cute moments I've seen. Lafreniere, when they were doing that to get his like hat trick, that one time where there was like, here it is, we're going to keep giving it to you. So it's been, I've just loved being able to watch them have fun, enjoy, and stay cool and calm. I mean, I haven't seen the team more, like level tone than we're all freaking out. I mean, it makes my hair go gray. I'm, like, can we not wait till the last 3 minutes of a game to score a goal and tie it up? I can't handle that.
And the amount of come from behind wins. This one thing to continuously come from behind and win during the regular season, but it's another thing for our heart rates and blood pressures. And we are a lot older than we were in 1994. Let me add.
My hair grows way faster. I know. I think I did another post. The unofficial sponsors for myself in the season is Botox, Clairol, Absolute. A few more things we probably need.
I think Bovada should have an over-under on what your heart rate's going to be for during all of the games, especially like any kind of game 4s through 7s.
Oh my gosh, yes. So that's another thing to people listening. I should post this sometimes, but I jump around like a crazy person. So my heart rate just will shoot up to 120, 130 during some of these moments. So I'm thankful for last night where there was a few. I got a little emotional too watching them hand out the jerseys and then kind of skate around for their. I think where I got really emotional is when they were doing the players of the game. And so because I definitely feel that they just seem genuinely appreciative of everything, and that's what made me kind of tear up a little bit and watching them and just their cuteness. And and Igor trying to block the camera, and just
Yeah.
now they're relieved. And what they also said, it's like, look, we know what we want. We know we're not done yet, and I think the rest will do good. And then let's talk about our secret weapon too. It's
Or
Heedle.
what is our oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yes. So do you think that he is going to be back for game one of the playoffs or round one? Where do you think this is happening?
So I'd like to see him in game one. There was a question that was asked on Facebook. Do we think he should be playing? And I'm like, it's not up to us. So, but I feel that they kind of know where they are, and he definitely wants to be part of it. I don't think he can be a passive participant in the road to these next 16 wins. So I think he's cleared to go. He's clearly ready and willing and able. It's up to him and coach. So I would like to see him, especially in this first round, where it could be a test to see how he can handle it, because it won't get any easier. This is my thought. If we're going to see him, we're going to see him in this first round.
Yeah. And then I guess maybe they'll do an evaluation. I'm a little bit worried, and only from hey, this team had played extremely good hockey without him. There's a lot of chemistry among the players. There's a lot of finessing, and I'm sure, a lot of plays that they've worked on. He hasn't been part of that. Do you think that that's going to somehow be impactful, or do you think Laviolette puts him on for a couple of shifts, see how it goes, and then makes a decision as things kind of play out?
I think we're going to see that regardless, of whether he plays or not. We're already seeing that. We've been seeing Laviolette do that, and I think everything he's done, he's prepped for this moment. So he's got the right players, he's working the right formulas, and we know, I don't know exactly how long Heedle's been practicing. We just know what's been reported. So I think it's going to be a good dynamic, to rotating it out.
I hope
I think he's going to do that anyway. I think everything he's done, he's prepped. I think Laviolette thinks games ahead. He's already ahead.
I hope that if, especially if we play a team like Washington, that he's not targeted for any kind of, deep and dirty hits real early on, because that would be my biggest concern about putting Heedle back on the ice. That guy is fragile, and I don't know if Bovada has the numbers on whether or not he's due to concussion, but really, that is somewhat of a concern.
So sticking with Bovada on that, so there's a couple things too we can kind of add in there. So I wonder, like how many times are they going to go for Heedle once he's on the ice? And then the other question is, will Rempe protect him like a little baby bird?
Yeah. That's how I feel. That's how I feel when I look at him. I can see Kreider's chewing up his food and spitting it in Heedle's mouth. You know that's going on behind the scenes. This is why you listen to Double D-Fense, folks.
They take care of each other really well. So
you're not going to get that on the other podcast, I guarantee you.
That's a visual. It's like I'm going to put birds in the next beer drink thing. That's too funny. So for Bovada, I wonder. I haven't looked. I want to see, especially when playoffs start, if they. I'm going to be looking for this from you, Bovada. I need to have it. Rempe hits, Rempe goals. So somebody was asking about Rempe, and he staved off a fight yesterday.
I was very impressed by that, by the way. I made a note that he had, they were trying, it was Kachuk. He was trying to bring him in. He was trying to egg him on, and it was a very mature decision by Rempe to not take the bait. So good, good job.
I think it's funny how these guys are coming to the ice a little late, thinking it's going to happen. When I think the crowd, I think he's riled up everybody enough. He knows what he can do, and he has everybody in the palm of his hand right now, which is great. I'm sure the shirts are selling out. The Eds are making shirts. I want them all.
It was smart. It was smart hockey for sure. It was don't take a stupid penalty. You're already ahead. Last game of the season. Don't mess anything up. I think it was a very mature decision.
See, and that's what we were talking about too. I think, they had to be really careful. But again, I think they knew all of this, and everything has been so calculated in such a way to kind of rile everybody up, which is really good. Because I think, and I talked about this, I'm like, they're going to put Rempe on the ice, and he's going to, they're going to try to get him off and draw a penalty and because they know he's been getting the 5 minutes. And then the league kind of sent their own message by kicking everybody off the ice. They didn't have to, they did it because they could. And so they made the decision. So those are clear messages coming down from bigger, bigger people. And yeah, the fact that Kachuk thought he could do something is kind of funny, Yeah, like they were talking.
And you're at the bottom of the list.
Got nothing to lose.
Yeah, I mean, what are you doing, man?
I know they were talking about it yesterday. He's such a tool, especially the fight toward the end. Like he's such a tool. And what did I say? Well, he's to bye-bye now.
He's to bye-bye.
We're gonna have our own little language by this time. Like, once we figure out how to properly say his name without, like how to properly put the T, C, and the K together and make more words out of it. That's fun.
Yes, exactly. So there's a lot of exciting games coming up. Obviously Panarin was voted team MVP, which I thought was
they were chanting him. That was so great.
There was some good chants at the game last night too. I think when Panarin had the puck, it was either MVP or I think they were saying we want 50. That's what Sam was saying. That the
okay, that's what I was missing. I don't know if I texted you or meant to text you. Like, what are they? I can't understand what they're saying. So, so that's another thing that's new this year too. It's just the amount of chants. We started chanting our own goalie, which is is amazing. And when the tradition over time is to taunt the other goalie, and it takes it all away from your player when you're out and they can't really taunt you when you chant your own goalie. And then the Rempe chants, the Artemi chant, the quick chant, it's just amazing. I can't wait to go back to the Garden and just and get in on them with all these nice new chants. Because a year or two ago it wasn't happening. Now it's just livened everybody up.
And think of all of the away games that we've been to this year and see firsthand how New York Rangers fans are everywhere and will absolutely take over and have their own chance. I mean, I think when we were in Anaheim, it was more of a New York Rangers home game than anything else. It really was.
The best was last year in Vegas when we were winning by a lot and everybody cleared out and it was really only Ranger fans in the crowd. And it was like, that's all you saw were blue. And that was the best. So much better than this year, but it's fine. So that's that was I've enjoyed kind of, again, this year will reflect more as the season goes and when we kind of end kind of going back, but watching these games, I'm listening not only in watching on TV through Game Center and ESPN and ABC and TNT through Emily, all the worst and the best and everything, but also listening on the radio. So, which is kind of fun too. I think, was it yesterday? So yesterday in the first period, Dave Maloney was talking. I think they were doing an ad for whiskey, and I swear it sounded like he was drinking it. So he was really animated.
Nobody cares anymore.
It's been fun. Even listening on the radio has been a wonderful adventure because in the second year we've been doing this, we're so much more focused and the attention to detail is better. So going back to those chants, every single game, it's been such a wonderful experience to listen and be able to hear that chant in every single arena across the country. And you're not hearing that. And then even drowning out Islander fans, which was fun to listen to last week when they were playing out on the island. So it's been fun. So I can't wait to, and just once they can drown out all those damn horns, at the Penguins and the Canes and the growls everywhere, then our mission will be accomplished. So wait, talking about, I wonder if there's Bavada, I wonder if it has any stats yet on the Coyotes. I wonder if they're going to start all over. Whether or not they're going to move for this time. So we have a new place to go to. That's another breaking story, is that looks like Arizona Coyotes is going to move from their college rink to maybe a real size rink in Utah.
I've also been researching what the potential team names could be if they decide not to keep the Coyotes. And there's a couple floating around. I've read the Grizzlies, the Bears, the Yetis, something like the Beehives. There's all kinds of stuff floating around. But apparently the new owner of the team, or the investor, who is, I think, the same investor as the Utah Jazz said he understands the the necessity of having a team name that's going to build a brand. He was very impressed with like the Kraken and the Golden Knights. So I don't think that they're going to be slacking on a team name. We just don't know what it would be yet.
That's a curious thing to keep an eye on, because when the Golden Knights came out, they I've always been impressed with the whole team and the franchise and what they've done, and they're, whether it's Vegas or they're crack you know marketing team. They've just done amazing. I mean, when you started watching them and going there, I think they were dressing up statues, and they had gold dust on donuts and glitter things. I mean, they just had everything. And then the Kraken came along, and they were super fun, and I think they have just as much, like, in their marketing department. So there's some high bars to set, and that if they're going to kind of keep it with the fans and kind of keep it lively and want people, to get interested in it in that state. So yeah, that'll be an interesting development over the summer to follow and definitely talk about. So that'll be kind of fun to see. So we did win the President's Trophy yesterday, and a lot of things were coming up about when they're going to get it. It was funny. Since we haven't won in a long time, looking up things. Oh, there's something else I want to talk about too. So looking up things, and I think someone was texting me like, "Oh, I think I missed them getting it." And I'm like, "No, they didn't get it." But so I think they're going to be awarded it on game 1. But I couldn't find it. Just try Googling it. It's a hard thing to find. It just
yeah. And apparently,
first place. It doesn't tell you anything else.
No, and I don't think there's a specific time that they necessarily would get. I don't think there's like one standard answer for when it would be awarded. I don't know if they chose to do that because they didn't physically have the trophy, or they didn't know, whether or not the Rangers would have it. Obviously, yesterday's game could have gone a lot of different ways.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's something I haven't focused on, because it's been quite a, since 2015 that we've won, right? 2014, when did we win that last? 2014, 2015.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't remember, but I was looking back, and Boston didn't get it either. So that was an interesting a thing. It doesn't really matter. The big question is, and I was getting called, this guy was on Facebook. There was a question of like, everyone's going crazy because the Knicks also are making the playoffs, basketball and hockey. And this is where I'm going to get a little annoyed, as I have in the past. Basketball and hockey have the exact same schedules. Yeah. They go into playoffs the exact same day. They last the exact same amount of time. They play the exact same amount of games. And it seems like basketball always trumps the NHL with TV schedules and even scheduling. So
and with the arenas too. I mean, obviously a lot of basketball teams are sharing space, as the New York Rangers do with the New York Knicks, and that's already coming into play with game 1, because I've heard, so the game's either Saturday or Sunday, but the Knicks I know are playing Saturday. That's been confirmed. They didn't say what time though, so it sounds, for all intents and purposes, that the game will be at sometime Sunday. But we don't know yet, and that's really hard to make plans. So
well, somebody posted that, and my comment was, why is this a big deal? And of course, some guy, a man, a boy, a troll, was like if this isn't important to you, why are you even here? And he deleted that comment, and then he's like, oh, and your profile says that you're a hockey girl. And I'm like, well, thank you for checking my profile out. I appreciate that. And he's like, it's still not going to help you here. And I'm like, and I'm like, I don't need any help from someone who cares whether the game starts on a Saturday or Sunday. I have more important things,
Yeah, and also hockey girls can make other plans around the game. I mean, that's what we're trying to do is make sure we are dedicating the time. Not that I feel we have to justify ourselves, but it would be nice to know.
I don't know why it's a big deal. I mean, most people were complaining about NBA trumping the, NHL and getting first dibs at things and scheduling and stuff, and they're televised more. I don't know. It's all contracts. It is what it is. I'm not really worried about it.
Interesting to see what the stats are on Bovada about the Knicks. I don't really follow basketball, but if New York's in it, New York's in it, and that's always exciting.
So with that, there was a post, and I'll bring it up because I texted you it, and I'm not going to sing it because I don't really
I
have
might
a
sing
good
it. I know
voice.
what you're talking about.
Yeah,
We'll
so
preface this with a lot of people have been digging up all of the similarities between
people who yes, yes, yes.
1994 and 2024, when the Rangers last won the Stanley Cup, to this year. And I think there's some very interesting, weird correlations.
I love it. So 94 versus 24. And in your mind, you can sing the tune of I Didn't Start the Fire by Billy Joel. So 1994. So there was an earthquake in 1994, an eclipse. O.J. Simpson case was prominent then. The Knicks and the Rangers both ended their regular season with 50 plus wins. And the Knicks finished second in the East. The Rangers win the President's Trophy and most wins in the franchise history. And the Rangers win the Stanley Cup. So that's already a good sign for now. So that was in 1994. And currently in 2024, there was just an earthquake. There was an eclipse. And the funny thing about that, too, is the earthquake was a 4.8. The eclipse was on 4.8. So there was some other things for that, too, which is pretty funny. O.J. Simpson dies, so he's relevant, too. And the Knicks and the Rangers both end their regular season with 50-plus wins. And the Knicks finished second in the East, and the Rangers win the President's Trophy with the most wins in franchise history.
So there's only one thing left to happen.
And then it's Rangers ... 16 wins, baby. Yeah. So it starts all fresh now. This is what I love. This is where this is the reason why
my palms start to sweat. I can literally feel it. I can feel it.
They usually have a little puzzle that they put up to make the 16 wins. So I know that there's other teams finishing up. So there's not only are we looking at the wild card, but don't forget Boston and the Panthers are now. I saw a post that Panthers fans want to lose, or please lose, because if they somehow take over first place, and they're probably playing Tampa Bay, and they don't want to, they say Tampa Bay owns us in the playoffs. So that's what I'm seeing online, which will be a curious thing. So not only do we have our wild card, 4 teams vying for that final spot, very exciting. One spot, is all that remains in our in our little division. We got Boston and the Panthers are vying for that. And then I'm not really following East Coast or the West Coast so much, but it looks like I think like Kings are in, which is exciting because their local representation. And in a way, I wouldn't mind rooting for them to go all the way because it makes an easy game to watch us play again and a little rematch.
The West is already set, so the West. Well, I don't know if everyone's clinched. I don't know if these are the final standings, but it looks pretty likely. Dallas, Winnipeg, Colorado for Central, Vancouver, Edmonton, LA for Pacific, and the wild card is Nashville and Vegas Golden Knights. So it'll be some interesting matchups as the West Coast starts their postseason as well.
Yes, it'll be good. So Saturday is when it all begins. Bovada will reset their lines and bets after these last games are played. I'm going to be tuning in tomorrow to see these final games and see who we take on. It's pretty exciting. And watching people say we should, teams should lose. It's fun. I think I'd like to watch Boston lose.
The math is very mathematical right now. So I think the case is for the East.
I love that quote.
If Washington wins today, and they are playing the Flyers, I think if they win, they will definitely lock in. But if they don't win, if they either tie and then lose or lose, then I think Wednesday it can still happen with the Penguins. But this is all going to be up in the air, I think, until either the end of today or the end of tomorrow.
I think this is the best. I'm so relieved that our thing is over because the tension and like, if we lose, if we win, oh my God, and how close everything is. And again, they're just like, they look so cool and calm on the ice, and we are freaking out at all times. So it's just been, it gives me a chance to kind of redo my hair, get again. Make sure I have everything ready, so I'm fresh for the playoffs. That'll start. I know we're gonna, if they start on Sunday, we're gonna miss next Tuesday's game for more important things. For a little double defense VIP night out. So that'll be exciting. And we're gonna go to, and we're gonna prop this out when we go, but it's gonna be the Magic Castle in Hollywood. And I'll tell you a funny story. Like, I met Wayne, my friend Wayne, who's a magician, and I've been there several times during playoffs, because my friends in town, you got to go when you can go. It's a private club, invite only, and you can't take pictures in there. You really shouldn't be on your phone. But I've been in the corner at the bar checking scores, listening on AirPods. So we'll probably be doing that again, so we can enjoy the evening and the game at the same time. So that'll be kind of a fun evening.
I'm sure you will. And don't forget, the game will probably kick off quite early for us, so we might be able to catch quite a bit of it before we go.
Yeah, so it'll be fun to see, and it'll be fun to see who we play and how we get started. And right now, for sure, Carolina and the Islanders are playing each other. How do you think that's going to go?
I don't care how it goes, as long as they just make each other miserable. I hope it goes to 7 games. They get completely roughed up. I think that sounds great. I will sit there with the popcorn.
I want to see the Battle of the Ahos. Just take them all out. That's what I want to see too. Yeah. I think Biner, who was on last time with us, he's like going to watch every single game. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to try to watch everything. And we don't have a lot of competition to watch stuff. It's, we're going to be able to kind of weed out. The East Coast, West Coast times are different now, and we're now separated with times so we can watch the games better. And I definitely want to get a feel for who our challengers are going to be coming up. And and I kind of thought, I think I called earlier that I got these amazing trades. By the way, like our trade, so we made some great trades, because Roslovic scored the first goal last night, final game, and that was I don't know. I mean, I just felt we just did the right trades, and we didn't give anybody away, and we're actually having everybody back. So I think just even the excitement of knowing that Hedel wants to participate, he's cleared and ready to go at any time. I feel he's a secret weapon, because they're not going to bring him back if he doesn't have something to offer.
Totally. I totally agree. Well, on that note, everybody, congratulations to the New York Rangers. Congratulations to us for really helping them achieve this feat.
And we should all be resting up, just like the team is. So
absolutely. We need everybody in good shape. Rest your livers.
Yeah. Your drinking arm, your cheering arm.
Exactly. Get your goal song ready. And watch this space, because we will be with you through all of the playoffs.
Yeah, let's try to do some live. We might do some live opportunities too.
Definitely.
Good. And then Wall Street Pizza, we're coming for you.
You're
our favorite. And so when we have the opportunity to go down there, we'll be watching the games down there in LA. And then hopefully I want to see who we go in round 2. I think I'm going to try to make it out east to a round 2, not game 2, round 2, and try to figure out, because it'll be a quick decision and jumping out there. So that's the only disadvantage to having home ice, is that they're the first games and they're quick. So once we learn, it's like it's already going to be decided, and it's the first 2 games. I don't want there to be game 7s. So I want it to be done. I want 2 games to win and then take it on, and be able to do that. So we're in watch now. We need 16 more wins this year. So that's all that matters right now. So everybody reset. Enjoy your week off.
Absolutely. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.